Let me ask you a tough question. Who are your five? Who are the five people you spend the most time with at work, at home, and socially? Because whether you realize it or not, those five people are shaping your future right now. They're shaping your mindset, your beliefs, your income, even your health. They're even shaping your level of confidence. And get this, you don't even have a choice about whether they influence you. The only choice you get is who you allow into your circle. Just think about that for a moment. If your five closest influences are driven, positive, and focused on growth, then you will naturally rise to that standard. But similarly, if your five closest influences are negative, cynical, and small-minded, you will, over time, slowly sink to that level. So let me ask you again, who are your chosen five? And are they elevating you to greatness in all facets of life that you want and enjoy? Or are they holding you back and preventing you from making progress? Now, at this moment, this principle matters more than at any other time in history because we're more connected than ever, but we're also more influenced than ever before. Just think about it. You're not just influenced by who you see in person anymore. You're influenced by the people in your group chats, the people in your social feeds, the people you spend hours watching on YouTube, TikTok, or LinkedIn. Your five might not even be in the same city as you, but their ideas, their energy, and their patterns are shaping you every single day. You see, your brain is a social sponge, and it absorbs, mirrors, and calibrates to others. And whether you're conscious of it or not, you're adopting the standard of the people you're closest to. That's why so many people stay stuck. Not because they're not talented and not because they're not intelligent, but because they're trapped in environments that condition them to think small and to not play to their greatest strengths. In other words, if you want to know where your life is headed, don't look at your goals. Look at your circle. Let me give you an example. Have you ever caught yourself using a phrase or a tone of voice that you didn't used to use, but one of your friends does all the time? Or maybe you spend time with someone who's constantly negative and always complaining, and after a while, you notice yourself slipping into that same pattern, and that's not a coincidence. That's social influence. Now imagine stretching that out over years. The people you're around aren't just shaping your vocabulary, they're also shaping your worldview and your sense of what's possible. They're shaping your level of confidence to take on new challenges. They're also shaping the decisions that you make about risk and relationship management and the opportunities you show up for. That's how powerful this principle is. This isn't just motivational talk, this is science. Dr. David McClelland at Harvard University studied human motivation for 25 years, and his conclusion was that the single most powerful predictor of your success wasn't your IQ, it wasn't your talent or your work ethic, it was your reference group, the people you compared yourself to every day. If your reference group is small-minded, you get pulled down, and if they're ambitious, you get pulled up. There's no doubt about it. You are the average of the five people you spend the most time with.
Just think about sports. When less skilled than you relax.
You don't push yourself and you coast. But the moment you play with people better than you, something changes. You stretch yourself, your focus is sharper, and you raise your level to meet theirs. That's not just sports, that's business too, and it's relationships. When your circle is strong, it allows you to ascend. Here's the truth. Your associations are your destiny. So if you want to be in good physical shape, surround yourself with people who value health. And if you want to be wealthy, surround yourself with people who build wealth. And if you want to be confident socially, surround yourself with people who value cultivating business and social relationships. It's not optional. It's inevitable. The real question is, who do you want to become? Because that answer will determine who you allow into your life, into your five. Now, let's get practical.
The first step is to write down the 5 people you spend the most time with and ask yourself, how do I feel after being around this person? Am I energized, challenged, and uplifted, or drained and stalled and
feeling diminished.
Be honest, because nothing will change until you are.
Second, reduce the negative influences. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life completely, but it does mean controlling the dosage. If someone's constantly negative, maybe you don't see them 3 times a week. You see them once a month.
And if a coworker drags you down, limit unnecessary action.
The only person who can fully protect your energy and your future is you. Third, this is the big step. Upgrade your circle. Seek out people who are ahead of you and who make you stretch. In other words, people who force you to play a bigger game. They're literally all around you, and here's the key. They don't have to be in your immediate environment. In 2025, you can surround yourself virtually through podcasts and masterminds and niched groups and virtual communities. Every day, you're either upgrading your circle or you're reinforcing the old one. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Susan, what if the negative people are my partner or my work team? I can't just walk away from them. And you're right. You can't always change who's around you, but you always have power over how much influence they have over you. You can set boundaries and redirect conversations and add new voices to your circle to counterbalance the negative ones. You're not powerless here. You always have a choice.
And don't think for a moment that this is about arrogance.
We're not talking about cutting people off cold. This is about recognizing that your time, your focus, and your energy, and your future, they're all precious. If you spend them carelessly, you'll look back in 5 years and wonder why nothing has changed with your people skills and how you show up professionally and socially. But if you spend this time intentionally, you'll look back in 5 years and be unrecognizable in the best possible way. And the difference will be year 5. So here's my challenge for you. Don't just nod your head and say, yeah, this makes sense. Write down the names, audit your circle, and ask the hard questions. Who's lifting you? Who's holding you back? And then make the decision that socially successful people make. And that's the decision to choose your circle on purpose. There's an old saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. It's so true. You are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. So I'll ask you one last time. Who are your 5? And are they helping you become the standout you are meant to be, or are they keeping you small? Your future depends on